guys and gals, Never here from Drake Wing Gaming. It's me on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Arches. Oh goody, y'all. Let's pick it right back up where Cameron got shot in the face, shall we? Alarm chain, you are up, and let's go. Oh dear God, this is such a painful game to play. Yep, and it opens with a gunshot. Of course it does. Alright. Okay. Devon watches as Cameron's face becomes a bouquet of red ribbons, and the bear stumbles as the shot hits his arm as well. Cameron's body jerks violently in his arms before going incredibly still. Devon quickly looks down to see Cameron no longer with a face. Everything that used to make up his face is splattered against the walls, and it still pours from... Cameron is gone. In shock, Devon looks at his arm and sees the white of bone shards, at first thinking it's his own, but then he sees a few of Cameron's sharp teeth also embedded into his arm. Devon leans over Cameron's body, an expression of untold anguish on his face as he starts to let out a low, terrible groan that rises and pitches to a bearish howl. After looking forward, Cameron does the only thing he can think of. No! Cameron grabs the barrel and shoves up. The sound is so loud it instantly deafens Cameron, and though the ringing starts to subside, the hearing in his right ear doesn't come back. Cameron! Cameron! I'm fine! I'm fine! Cameron looks to where Brian is. The kickback from the 10 gauge had hit him hard, squarely in the chest. Cameron can almost visualize the shock sent through that old, worn-out heart, already exhausted from the stimulant in the fight. The old bear, still unsteady on feet, stumbles back a bit more before hitting the wall and sliding down it to sit. Ah, so I see what happened there. Brian sits propped up against it, looking confused. He clutches his chest, rubbing it and grimacing. The shotgun is on the ground, out of Brian's reach, and the old bear makes no move to get it. Fuck! He starts to try and get back up, but falls back down. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Brian clutches at his chest and stomach and groans. Oh no, that was it. Is this it? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the... Brian slumps back, his body convulsing, then he thrashes about as if trying to escape something. He knocks over and smashes the electric lantern, crushing it under his weight. For several more seconds, they both listen to Brian's groaning, rasping, and snorting before it's silent. It's quiet for a little while longer, Cameron and Devon not daring to move. Brian had seemed invincible for so long, Cameron can't get himself to believe that it might be over. Devon whispers into Cameron's ear. Cameron, how do you feel? Cameron gives Devon a look that's a mix of love and exasperation, even if Devon can't see it right now. They both know he's badly fucked up. I think something ruptured. It feels all wrong. Cameron places his right paw on his own torso, wincing. Don't move, okay? I'll get us out. I'll get us out in no time. Devon starts to tentatively make his way forward, and just as Cameron is realizing how long this might actually take, possibly too long if there's internal bleeding, his vision flickers. The arch. Cameron stares at it, then looks at Devon, wincing at the bear's bloodied and bruised face. But Devon doesn't react to the light, like Cameron is the only one seeing it. But a shroom trip can't emit light no matter how hard you're tripping. I think I can see where to go. Just walk straight. The arches. Yup. That's what it all meant. How? Cameron starts to shake his head, and stops as his neck sends a pang of fiery pain down his back. I don't know, but I can see. Let's just get out of here, please. Cameron tries hard to not to look at Brian's crumpled form against the side wall of the hollow, his wide open eyes glinting from the gentle glow. Okay, just tell me where, okay? And sure enough, as they leave, arch after arch disappears, and Cameron is confident they'll lead to the exit. These arches had tortured his mother. This feels like his mother, somehow. As they move, they both hear rustling sounds far behind them in the mines, but Brian is definitely dead, or at least had been when they left, so they keep moving, trying to keep quiet. Then within an hour, real light. Daylight. Devin looks down at Cameron and winces just like Cameron did when he saw Devin's face. God, honey, we're gonna get you help, and you're gonna get better, okay? What about you? Do you feel okay? Cameron's voice is weaker than it was earlier, and Cameron feels Devin quicken his pace. I'm fine. Devin says it sternly, setting his jaw, and Cameron stays quiet. Cameron, I'm sorry. And that's the last time you're saying that to me, okay? I don't blame you for anything. I'm just so glad I met you. He listens to the bear's heartbeat, steady for most of the journey, but getting faster as they get closer to the exit. I think I hear a helicopter, and maybe a megaphone. Shit, did people come for us? The shotgun blew out my hearing, so I'm not really sure. His trip is mostly over, yet these visions are so vivid. Cameron stares at this new arch, and something about it feels different. Oh, Mom. I found it. Huh? Her arch. You're seeing arches? You know how something can happen that's so impactful it splits your life in two? Like you see life as before and after that moment? It can be good or bad. Devin hesitates, like he wants an answer to the question he just asked, but he lets it go for now. Of course. I think meeting you is the good divide in my life. I think what happened here and what's going to happen after. I think it's the bad divide. It had always been his mother's death, and it still is. A divide. But this time, Cameron realizes he's been deeply affected mentally, and it's not something that he can just recover from. I mean, you and your boyfriend got kidnapped and tortured by a hillbilly rapist torture murderer. That's not something you, just recover from. Something's truly wrong with him. It's been the case for a long time, but now, after this, something's been pushed over the edge. So, another divide. I think we're gonna be okay, Cameron. Devin, whatever happens after this, I love you. And I'm so happy I met you. Come on, you didn't have to say that first part. We made it, okay? It's just a fork in the road. Cameron gasps. Oh, Devin, Artie's alive. He went to get us help, I think. I hope. What? How? I don't know. He got shot, but he got away. Brian was pissed. He's hurt, but I think he made it. Oh. Oh, that's... Devin's lips tremble and his face twists up slightly as he tries not to cry, but it's out of incredible relief and happiness. Cameron doesn't tell him how bits of Artie are missing, or that he can't sense him anymore, but because of his waning powers and because Artie's too far away. At least that's what he hopes. Cameron stares up at the arch, looking both beautiful and terrible at the same time. Raincoat Monster stands to the side as they pass, and this time, Cameron does think it's its old hallucination. Cardboard and unmoving, just like he's always been. But something about all this, the way he's seeing things, something has changed. It's not his psychic abilities, because now it's subtle and hardly noticeable again. No, something else has happened, and his mind feels wrong. Looking forward is no longer clear, but as Cameron uses the last of his psilocybin in the system to peer into their future, he becomes afraid by what he sees. So he just turns his muzzle slightly to Devin. Cameron, we're gonna make it. Based on what he saw, Cameron isn't sure. Devin will stay. He was able to see that, but should he? More than anything, they both want to stay together, but if Cameron becomes a burden to Devin, he doesn't know how he can stay. He just hopes that Devin can still love him after this terrible change, and he hopes he can fight it, whatever it is. So Cameron leans his head against Devin's shoulder, smiling in a mostly happy but in a bittersweet way. Alright. Now let's get the hell out of here. The terrible change comes almost exactly 3 weeks later. Oh my god, 3 weeks? Jesus! 3 weeks? My god! Cameron had been feeling strange ever since they got back home, like he wasn't quite himself. After a flurry of hospital visits, police interviews, and even harassment from the media, things had become strangely quiet. He's a broken road. Brian Dubois was a serial killer with a victim count in the double digits, with all the murders taking place over the course of nearly 4 decades. That would get national attention, of course, especially since Brian appeared to be involved in the high-profile disappearance of a college freshman last year. The body cam footage of their dramatic rescue from the mines even made the rounds on social media for about 2 days. At the same time, a pandemic was picking up steam, and all media attention focused on that instead. Cameron didn't mind. That lack of attention made his recovery much easier. Okay, so it was COVID. Okay, interesting. His burst liver and severely damaged kidney had left him needing surgery. The hospital did what they could for his elbow, and his doctors were hopeful that with at least a lot of physical therapy, he could at least use it for basic necessities. And while it did suck to maybe never be able to bend his elbow correctly or without pain, what really devastated Cameron was a weakness, and constant tingling in his pinky and ring finger left him feeling like he might lose his mind. So for now, despite him being eager to get back to it, guitar was an absolute no. For now. But what about forever? On top of that, Cameron had been trying to banish that damn voice from his head. No, the negative thoughts from his head, right? Just a flashback, one of the shitty leftovers from his shroom trip. Either way, all he could do was try to ignore it, despite it making itself known at least once a day. Cameron. Something's wrong. But things continued to feel strange. It didn't seem to be related to his ESP, because he could easily tell when that was happening. Ever since the shroom trip, a haze of psychic ability lingered around him, allowing him to capture thoughts and feelings seemingly at random. Downloading is what some people like him like to call it. He didn't have much control, though. Sometimes he wasn't even able to tell if the download he was receiving was from the living or the dead. Cameron even began to try and hone his abilities, experiment with just how much he could do. What he quickly figured out was that without some sort of illicit substance, his clairvoyance lacked a great deal of fuel that had powered his abilities in Echo. That would make it easier, and so would being in an active location like Echo. Echo is only one of those places, though. There are so many others. He's a desert lake. Every now and then, Cameron would find himself pausing as a chill would run down his spine, like he did near the back door of Devon's parents' house. That feeling always meant an Echo was attached to something, somewhere nearby. That's what Cameron called the beings. Not exactly intelligent or even living, but entities that interacted with and usually threatened the living. In that particular case, it emanated from under the back porch. When he told Devon about it, the bear knew immediately what Cameron was talking about. Oh yeah, but here's something moving under there all the time, like a person crawling around. Even Dad says he saw red eyes under there once. Being more sensitive doesn't exactly answer questions, though. Like, why is it there? Where does it come from? What the hell even is it? All he knows is that it's not a person, and it never was a person. Because they're all demons. And while Cameron had seen that old spark of interest in Devon's eyes, he had told Cameron to just ignore it and focus on their visit for now. And also to please not mention it to his parents while they were there. Devon just wanted everything to go away, quietly, like it never happened. That included Cameron's abilities. That was at the end of the second week, and over the course of his life, Cameron would look back on that visit as one of the last times he was truly himself. He's a trailer home in the Southwest. By the third week, Cameron was recovering at a remarkable rate, and so Devon began to pay Artie more visits and phone calls. Arturo's improvement was also rapid, but Cameron was left feeling a little sad that Artie never asked to talk to him. He would only ask Devon how the coyote was holding up. It made sense, he would tell himself. Devon and Artie go back further than even Devon and himself did. Sure, something had felt off, but considering the circumstances, nothing was normal at the time. But as the third week progressed, what had been bubbling below the surface made itself truly and fully known. Alright, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. That actually turned out better than I thought it would. But, as usual, there are areas of gray that will always be there in a quote-unquote happy ending. This is not a happy ending. This is just reality. So, you will be thankful. You will think that that moment that you escape is the best moment of your life. And it may be. But there will always be best moments of your life that pop up here and there. And you will always have little, tiny, or even large moments in your life where you will wonder why you keep going on, why you're still here. Things could possibly get worse. They always can. Sometimes they will, but not always. But yeah, such is life. It's a mixture of different flavors all coalescing together. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell. I love you all, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!